All right, away from football, let's get straight to boxing as we look forward to Anthony Joshua, who will fight Robert Hellenius this weekend as the Finn steps up in for Dillian Whyte. Joshua was due to fight Dillian Whyte in a rematch of their 2015 clash, which AJ won via knockout, but Whyte returned an adverse drug test finding last week, causing Saturday's main event to be cancelled. Now, Hellenius, who is 39, has been drafted in to fight Joshua, who is 33, on short notice as the pair square off at London's O2 Arena. Now we've got Rakim Noble joining us. He is a fight commentator and was there during the weigh-in, and of course he looks forward to this one. But good to have you with us, Rakim.
Good evening, how are you doing?
I am very well. Looking forward to that fight between Anthony Joshua and Hellenius, which will go down on Saturday. But let's talk about this now. After an original opponent in Dillian Whyte returned that adverse testing in his more like a drug issue, what are expectations for this fight between Anthony Joshua and Hellenius? On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think this fight will rank for AJ on his road to redemption?
Well, this fight has a few questions to ask. Of course, he took it at a week's notice. Remember what happened last time when he took a fight at a week's notice with Ruiz and it ended in a disaster. AJ is looking for an impressive performance. He's looking to make a statement. In the last fight with Franklin, it went to points. It went to points decision, which wasn't what people were looking for. So this fight, they were expecting to get Hellenius out of there. Now, of course, we all know in one of Hellenius' last high-profile fights against Deontay Wilder, he got finished in 1 round. So people are going to be expecting Anthony Joshua to do something similar, maybe 3 or 4 rounds. They'll be expecting to get him out of there. If AJ can get a knockout in this fight, this sets him up really well going into the potential fight with Deontay Wilder in January or end of this year, December. So it's pretty high on the ratings where it will leave his redemption story, because this could be the final piece of the puzzle before we can start saying the old AJ is back. So if he can get a knockout, things are looking very, very good for the future for Anthony Joshua.
Now, let's talk about what these two fighters weigh. For Anthony Joshua, he weighs about 250, and for Hellenius, he weighs about 249. Now, AJ is about 6 years younger than Hellenius. AJ is 33, while Hellenius is 39. Should this be more like an advantage for Anthony Joshua going into this one?
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely say all the advantages are towards Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has been preparing for a fight on the 12th of August now for a month, probably up to 2 months now. He's known that this date's coming. He knows that he's getting ready. He's known that he's getting prepared. 33 years old. He's still relatively a youngish man in the sport as a heavyweight. Robert Hellenius actually fought last Saturday. He fought last Saturday in Finland, and after his fight, he got the call from Matchroom offering the fight, and he took it. He was all for it. So Hellenius, let's say 8 days ago, didn't expect to be in a position that he was in now. Anthony Joshua definitely has time on his side. He definitely has preparation on his side. So let's see if we make the most of that. Hellenius is 39 years old. He has had knockout losses to the likes of Deontay Wilder, Gerald Washington. He did lose to Dillian Whyte. So there is we have seen him get flattened at the highest level. And if Joshua can replicate that and show that he's still at that level, then it could be a good sign of things to come for the future.
Now, you talk about Anthony Joshua's level, of course, a heavyweight boxer. But what really are your expectations from this fight? Because, I mean, anything can happen. We saw the case where we saw Anthony Joshua fight Andy Ruiz. And a lot of pundits said, look, Anthony Joshua was going to knock him out probably in the 3rd round. And it didn't happen that way. Andy Ruiz won that first fight against Anthony Joshua. What if, out of nowhere, Hellenius knocks out Anthony Joshua?
Well, the thing is, so when Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz was a top 10 heavyweight. He recently lost a world title challenge to Joseph Parker, which was his only loss. So no matter what people say, no matter what he looked like, boxing people knew he was a pretty decent opponent. Some even said he was better than the original opponent, Gerard Miller, the American, who was banned from boxing because he got tested positive for drugs. So that was a potential slip up there in itself. It's just that I don't think many non-boxing people knew that. But Andy Ruiz was always a threat. Now, with Robert Hellenius, like I said, He's 39 years old. We've seen him be wiped out by Deontay Wilder, Gerald Washington. He's lost on points to Dylan White. He had a controversial win over Derek Chisora some time ago. So that's arguably four people that we've seen him lose to, and we've seen him completely flattened by the highest level of opposition. So on one hand, we can always refer back to the Ruiz defeat. But I think in this case, I think Joshua should have more. He should have more than what Hellenius has. It shouldn't be the same thing. Right now, Hellenius, I wouldn't call a top 10 in the world. Very, very arguably a top 15, let alone top 10. So this is expected to be a walkover for Anthony Joshua. Yeah, we said that last time with Ruiz, but I think this time how the facts have stacked up against Hellenius, having a week's notice, having fought 6 days ago, having the knockouts from Wilder and Gerald Washington, having been 39 years old, it does feel like all the cards and odds are stacked in Anthony Joshua's favor to make a very, very good performance on Saturday night.
So should we agree that you are already tipping Anthony Joshua for the win?
I'm taking Anthony Joshua for the win, but like the Franklin fight, a lot of us were very sure Anthony Joshua was going to win, but that wasn't the whole story of the case. What we was looking for is the style and method that he won in. So the Franklin fight, we said if it goes past 6 rounds, questions have to be asked. And of course, it went past 6 rounds, it went to 12, questions were asked. With Robert Hellenius now, who I would say is at this point a lower ranked heavyweight than Jermaine Franklin, if it does go past 6 rounds, questions have to be asked. Even if it goes past 4 rounds, some will still be asking questions. So I feel like Joshua needs to get him out of there. He needs to look convincing. He needs to look good and clinical. And that's the way you can keep the excitement for a fight with Deontay Wilder alive at the beginning of next year.
Now, talking about Deontay Wilder, we heard earlier today that the trainer, Malik Scott, that's for Anthony Joshua, he says he will still fight, that AJ will still fight Deontay Wilder even if he loses to Robert Hellenius. Do you want to put us through on this one?
Yeah, so I spoke to Malik Scott, the trainer of Deontay Wilder, on Wednesday, and we actually went through some of the information and details of what he plans to do for Deontay Wilder. So, of course, Deontay Wilder, he fought last year ago against Hellenius, knocked him out in brutal fashion in round 1. And in the last few months now, we've been hearing of Saudi Arabia going to put up a big amount of money, big sum of money to make the fight happen. Now, ultimately, that fight's going to always have appeal. That fight itself is going to make a lot of money. So it's going to happen regardless. But if you want to capture the public's interest, if you want to get people who aren't the Saudis invested in the fight, then AJ needs to have a good performance. If you want to sell the fight to the rest of the world, if you want people tuning in from all over the globe, then AJ needs to put in a good performance and show that this fight will be competitive. And going by the last fights, it's going to be one to get invested in. And like I said, Deontay Wilder, Malik Scott, they're more than happy to take however many tens of millions that they're going to be offered for this fight, regardless of the outcome. AJ could get knocked out in round 1, and Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder will still be more than happy to take the fight. Because, of course, it's money. But it definitely does help everyone involved keep it together and keep it looking professional, keep it looking like it's gone through some kind of order. If Joshua gets the win convincingly, then undoubtedly, yeah, it's the right fight at the right time. And it's not just because there's a massive investor behind it why it's happening. It actually has some story to it and it actually makes some sense.
All right, thank you very much, Rakim Nobu, for your time. And we look forward to that fight between Anthony Joshua and Robert Hellenius. Wishing Anthony Joshua all the best in that one. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.